From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A blast of bitter cold continues. How the community is working to stay warm as plows continue digging us out from the snow. And a deputy identified what we know after an off-duty deputy crashed a car into a house, and about the injuries he sustained. Plus, federal layoffs slashing careers in the Forest Service. How federal employees in Montana are feeling the weight of losing their dream jobs. Good morning and welcome to Montana This Morning on this Wednesday, February 19th. I'm Augusta McDonnell here with Miller Robson.
And welcome back, Augusta. Good
Happy to be here. I missed you guys. I really missed you. However, I was also freezing cold in Billings
it's cold
over the weekend and had some chores to do that I just was like, no, I cannot organize a storage unit when there's 2 feet of snow in front of the door. I just I mean, there's so much snow in the city.
Yeah,
but of
piled
course,
up everywhere. Now,
piling up. Yep.
The good news is no fresh snow coming in.
Yep.
So we're still working on trying to clear out what we've got out there already. Just again, give some grace to those folks out there trying to clean the streets. They're very slick, snow-covered, icy. I was coming down Broadwater this morning and I could have wore ice skates and skated into work. That's how slick it is. So please be careful. Also watch out for your sidewalks too. Also a great shot there from the Stockman Bank weather cam showing we've got some patchy fog in the area. So we could have some reduced visibility issues as well. So not the best start to the morning, but hang in there. We are going to be clearing up and we do have some warmer temperatures on the way. Yesterday though, we hit a big goose egg, hit zero, a good 40 degrees below average, our overnight low of 16. 36 below the norm. Yesterday we had another almost 1.5 inches of snow, and for the month we've had close to 31 inches of snow, and that makes it the third snowiest February on record. This is officially, of course, at the airport. Now I've got full totals on my Facebook page. If you go to meteorologist Miller Robson, there's a full list of the snow that we got through yesterday. Those are just some of the higher numbers. Look at near Wilsaw, 28 inches of snowfall. How about that? Look at those moisture totals and the snow totals. We're in pretty good shape as it stands right now. Really no more snow in the forecast moving forward. The big story is cold this morning and then a nice warm up on the way. We'll take a look coming up.
All righty, lots to come with that, Miller. Thanks for tracking all of those details. A big forecast in the past couple of weeks. And speaking of lots of impacts of the snow, we've got some school closures, delays, and changes this morning. Let's get through that list real quick. Hardin Public Schools announced yesterday they're closed today due to extreme cold. Livingston Districts 1 and 4 are also closed this morning. New since our last hour, Joliet Public Schools will not have morning bus routes this morning. Afternoon routes are still scheduled as normal. And Huntley Project schools are open today, but once again, they have some amended bus routes. You can find an updated list of those route changes on the Huntley Project Facebook page. Cold starts like the polar lows across our areas this morning can make for hard starts for your vehicles. I know mine made a weird sound this morning, but that shouldn't be a problem for school buses in School District 2. Superintendent Dr. Erwin Garcia says the buses can handle even colder temperatures than what we're experiencing now.
Pretty much diesel with the additive could function well even with minus 35, minus 40. However, when you get to that point, minus 35, minus 40, and this is not windshield, this is actual temperatures, you might have the risk of the diesel gelling up, which could be a concern because, of course, the buses will stop running after about 5 minutes.
Right now, School District 2 is planning on being open at usual time this morning. The snow, of course, has moved out like Miller was talking about, but these frigid cold temperatures and dangerous wind chills remain. In Billings, those temps dropped to around 20 below zero overnight, while wind chills in some parts of the state saw temperatures near 60 below zero. As our David J. shows us, that Arctic air has residents looking to stay warm and safe in a number of ways.
With the winter weather the last several weeks, Ace Hardware has had to restock on a lot of different items. People still coming into the store for all kinds of things and trying to do some repairs and also prepare for even colder temperatures.
The weather has kept the crew busy at King's Ace Hardware.
There's just a plethora of things that can go wrong.
Mark Hadeen came in for some sealant to take care of his roof before it becomes a problem.
Snow and then warms up, melts, and then it snows again, warms up, melts, and snows. And on your roof, it just starts to create a dam, an ice dam.
Snowblowers have been a big seller, and one customer has chosen not to clear snow on top of houses.
I do not get on roofs. That I do not.
Landon Phelps says there's some satisfaction helping people during the tough winter.
You do good things happen to you, and it's just kind of karma. What goes around comes around.
The store gets a couple deliveries a week, and has continually restocked merchandise.
Cold, wintry hand warmers, gloves. Been getting, like I said, a lot of snowblower sales, ice scrapers, ice melt, heaters, shovel snowblowers. So it's really picked up and been a good month for us.
Ace Hardware Management says business has been so good that a lot of the winter products will get sold and clear the way for the store in the spring. And for 43 years, Hedin has run the Home Improvement Show, which happens in a few weeks. And he says it's a good time of year to take care of projects or hire someone.
It's something you want to take care of sooner than later.
It's good to just be able to help the community in, those small ways like that. So
in Billings, David J., MTN News.
David, thanks so much. And we're learning more details this morning after the Montana Highway Patrol says an off-duty Yellowstone County deputy sheriff drove a car into a house in the Billings Heights. We now know the deputy also sustained a self-inflicted gunshot early Saturday after the crash. That deputy has been identified as Jason Thompson, a 5-year veteran of the department. The 31-year-old allegedly slammed into the side of a home near Hawthorne Lane and Barrett Road around 2 Saturday morning and then fled the scene. According to Sheriff Mike Linder, first responders followed Thompson's tracks in the snow and found him at his own home a short distance away, suffering from, again, a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Thompson was rushed to the hospital. His current condition not being released. The Montana Highway Patrol is investigating the crash and the factors that led to it. So far, no charges have been filed. And we're learning more also this morning about a deadly multi-car wreck in the Green River Tunnel on Interstate 80 in southwestern Wyoming. The Wyoming Department of Transportation confirms that 18 people were injured in that crash. 3 people died on scene. The Sweetwater County coroner confirmed that 20-year-old Christopher Johnson and 22-year-old Quentin Romero, both of Rollins, were killed in the crash, along with 30-year-old Harmanjeet Singh of Canada. That crash, involving 26 vehicles, happened last Friday in the westbound tunnel near mile marker 90. 8 of those vehicles were completely destroyed by fire. The Department of Transportation is aiming to hire a contractor to clean up the debris and soot in the tunnel, the first of many steps in restoring it to normal operations. Let's get to some national politics now. President Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency workers are moving forward and embedding themselves in government agencies, trying to access sensitive information for millions of Americans. That comes after a judge ruled against 14 states suing to block DOJ from firing employees to accessing data from several departments. Those include education and health and human services. With that ruling in mind, the acting Social Security Commissioner resigned her post after DOJ pushed for access to sensitive records. CBS News has learned that Elon Musk's team inside the IRS is working to discover private taxpayer data, saying the information is needed to root out fraud, waste, and abuse at the agency. Trump advisor Stephen Miller says the administration plans to use the data to find undocumented immigrants collecting benefits, such as child tax credits. In addition to accessing data and cleaning house, the president is pushing to slash government spending. As we've reported, 35,000 U.S. Forest Service employees are losing their jobs. That includes 360 workers in Montana, with at least 9 of those coming in Red Lodge. But as our Haley Monaco reports, the decision is leaving those who are now out of work devastated and worried about Montana's future.
With the below-zero temps and snow covering much of our state, many Montanans are counting down the days until they can get outside and recreate in the summer. But this year, things may look a lot different.
I wanted to be somewhere where the land felt expansive and looked the way that it used to look.
From mountains, rivers, and the trails that get us there, Montana is one of the best places to head outdoors.
It's a dream job because I get to be in a place that I care about.
And for many, it was the best place to work.
It was crushing. It's such a big piece of my life. I've dedicated my entire life and working experience to this.
For the past 4 years, Adam Sadowski has helped build and clear trails in the Beartooth Ranger District. He says he's one of 9 employees based in Red Lodge now without a job.
I was in Red Lodge for 4 years, and I was the crew lead for the last 3. Everybody below me was terminated.
It's just crazy to me that a swipe of a pen is affecting so many people with utter disregard for not just federal employees, but the public too.
Stephen Gutierrez is the National Business Representative for Federal Employees, which represents Forest Service employees nationwide. And he knows, more than most, the impact the layoffs of thousands of U.S. Forest and National Park Service employees could have on all who enjoy the great outdoors.
They're going to see trails that aren't opened, trash cans overfilled because they're not being taken out. They're going to see wildfires go unmitigated, right?
We were doing this job for you and for the land.
At least 364 service workers in Montana are losing their jobs.
They all received a blanket template email saying their poor performance was not in the public's interest. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Their way of life, dream jobs, gone in an instant.
We are more so concerned about the impacts to the land and to the work that we've invested our lives into.
Work now halted with thousands across the country not knowing what their next steps will be.
But hopefully with our legal action, we'll be able to reverse course. But ultimately that's in the court's hands.
These impacts are going to be apparent.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Haley, thank you so much. And now at the Montana Legislature, a bill that would allow people to sue medical providers who administer transgender treatments has passed the Senate. Senate Bill 218 passed the third reading on a vote of 30-20 and is now headed to the House. The bill makes clinicians who provide medical transgender treatments directly liable if the treatments cause the patient any physical, psychological, emotional, or physiological harm. Patients have up to 25 years after the treatment to bring suit. The bill's sponsor, Republican Senator John Fuller of Kalispell, said it's aimed at ensuring responsibility for, quote, irreversible procedures. Opponents of the bill say it targets transgender individuals and would unusually supersede current malpractice laws. And new today, Montana's U.S. Attorney Jesse Laslovich officially announced he's stepping aside. Laslovich has served in the position since 2022 after being nominated by former President Joe Biden. In his 3 years, Laslovich highlighted his office's work building partnerships with local, state, reservation, and federal law enforcement as one of the main successes. Those partnerships saw prosecutions of drug trafficking and sex crimes on Montana's Indian reservations and across the state. President Trump will now nominate a successor.